Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Poppin' with Craig and it's D-Boss here. This Blackie Speaks vid. It's titled, Why Rappers Are Supporting Trump. I have been seeing this lately. Like, Nelly, I saw, Snoop, and some other people. But this isn't necessarily new. Rappers have always liked Trump for whatever reason. They always associated him with, I guess, wealth. So they've always, like, rapped about him in songs and stuff. So I guess they're now jumping back on the Trump train. So let's see what Blackie has to say about it. Let's watch.
Now, why are so many rappers supporting
That sounds
Donald
so
Trump?
well to say. I don't know why this man will call himself Blackie Speaks. He be having me call him Blackie, but that sounds crazy to say, but whatever, that's his name.
I've been paying attention to some of the things that have been going on, specifically in relation to the inauguration of the United States President, Donald Trump. You might have noticed that there's a substantial amount of rappers in support of him. Mm-hmm. This has actually been making headlines after the list of the people who were supposed to perform at the inauguration went viral initially. Snoop Dogg, Nelly, Rick Ross, and Soulja Boy were a part of the lineup. And they've been receiving a lot of backlash for co-signing Trump. In this video, I want to talk a little bit about why so many rappers are actually supporting Trump. First, before we move on to that part of the conversation, let's take a look at some of the things that have been going on recently. As you probably know, today on January 20, Donald Trump is being sworn in as the President of the United States. This comes after the recent election where Donald Trump defeated Kamala Harris, who's running against him. There's obviously a lot of tension regarding all of this because politics is a sensitive issue for a lot of people. And with a different leader in office, real lives will be affected. Now, during the elections, we saw both Kamala and Trump using celebrities as a tool to help them.
You know what's funny? When I react to this, I'm like, I never heard these niggas in my life. Whole time, I had a whole ass song from one of these niggas on my playlist. I remember going through my playlist and be like, wait, what was it called? I forgot. I'll have to look.
Campaigns. Most notably, we had Kamala Harris.
I remember their name.
Famously had Megan Thee Stallion.
That's how much I don't know them. I don't know them. Is that I can't even think of their name. Chef G? Sheriff G? I don't know.
Stage, which honestly was kind of funny. Now, Trump's campaign was also using celebrity endorsements to gain the upper hand. People like Aiden Ross, who's a famous streamer, had him on his platform. Same with Logan Paul during the summer of 2024. And most notably, Joe Rogan also had him on his podcast as well. Influencers played a significant role in the media campaigns for both candidates. Rappers have been a major part of this conversation as well. We mentioned Megan Thee Stallion showing her support for Kamala Harris, but more notably, a significant amount of male rappers in hip-hop have been vocal about their support for Donald Trump. This has sparked quite a bit of a controversy within the culture. Snoop Dogg is currently the focal point of all this backlash, so let's touch on that. Now, Snoop Dogg, if you guys did not know, has for a very long time been what some would call a professional Trump hater, and I mean it because Snoop at one point hated Donald Trump's guts. So there's been these clips that have been surfacing of Snoop absolutely obliterating Trump, saying all kinds of things about him, and these clips are actually from a few years ago.
Politics real quick. Now, we all hate... I apologize. I really don't apologize, man, because a lot of my fans get mad at me when I talk bad about him, but I think it's safe to say most people in our culture do not.
You need to know that a lot of your fans is racist. They don't way around. Don't even try to put no.
I don't even want to put anything around.
I do. I don't give a. I tell them straight up, motherfucker. If you like that, you motherfucking racist. Fuck you and fuck him. Now what? Draw the line. He drew the lines.
Exactly.
He drew the motherfucking lines. Before him, there were no lines. Everybody was everybody. We respected everything. We didn't trip. But nigga, when you drew the line, niggas start pointing motherfuckers out and saying, nigga, fuck y'all then.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
You and them.
If you're just tuning in with
Kanye too. Don't forget about him too. You too.
So that was a clip of Snoop Dogg during an interview where the interviewer was essentially bringing up Trump to get Snoop's opinion on him. And as you guys could hear, before the interviewer even finished his sentence, Snoop was like, fuck that ninja, man. And anyone who supports him, it's F you too. Now, like I stated, that clip was from a few years ago. However, the contrast is very interesting, right? Which is something that a lot of people have been pointing out, especially on Twitter. This one tweet from a user that went viral said, Snoop Dogg performing for Trump when he just had a viral video of him smoking to F Donald Trump is so corny, F Nelly as well. And this is not the only time Snoop has denounced Trump, by the way. Back in 2017, around 1 year after Trump won the 2016 election, Snoop posted a video on social media where he was mocking celebrities, but specifically artists and rappers who were publicly in support of Trump. Snoop essentially stated in a ridiculing way that no one is quote-unquote gonna perform for him, and then he was like, oh yeah, you guys will perform for him, right?
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the fuck out one of you Uncle Tom ass niggas doing it. Which one of you is gonna do it first? I was the one that performs for himself.
And then now years later, we have Snoop Dogg himself doing just that.
That check
so
cleared.
that's kind of ironic. This other tweet said, and this one is kind of funny, I can't even lie, I shall now refer to Snoop Dogg as Lap Dog.
That's funny.
Lap Dog is so funny. And then this other tweet said, I say this with all disrespect, F Snoop Dogg, and honestly anyone agreeing to perform at this BS inauguration. So as you guys could hear, he's catching strays left and right. And I think it's intensified by the fact that he was on the complete opposite side of things. I mean, it's just crazy, right? Literally. By the way, I'm just kind of laughing at the fact that they called him Lap Dog. I just think it's funny. But anyway, it got to the point where he was going out of his way to criticize others who were in support of him. And then, like, now, look at what happened, right? And the question people have is, what the hell changed?
How come one black ass to now perform? Sorry. Wow, choice of words. Snoop Dogg, your skinny black ass will do anything for a check. Because with him being skinny or black, well, I mean, but it's just skinny black, whatever.
At his inauguration. We're going to talk about the why in a second. But the short answer is dinero. Money talks very loud, and I'm sure you already knew that. Now, the next rapper in question who's been in support of Trump is Nelly. Now, Nelly back in October actually went viral for a performance he did at the American Music Awards. Now, Nelly was performing his legendary Ride With Me record.
He said...
And out of nowhere, he said MAGA, which stands for Make America Great Again. Right? Now, since he said that kind of fast, there's, some people who've been saying that's not actually what he said, because it kind of sounds like he's low-key saying, mackin' or back up or possibly backer. That would make sense considering what he's talking about in the song. But since the clip already went viral, especially considering what we're going to talk about here, people took it as Nelly showing support for Trump, right? By the way, you can decide for yourself if that's what he said. I'll be honest with you, my hearing is a little bit bad right now, so I'm kind of having a hard time hearing exactly what he said. So I don't know if it was Macker, back it up, or whatever the hell he said. But it does sound like he's saying MAGA, if you're asking me. Now, it was announced that he was going to perform on Monday night at the inauguration. And like I said, he's been getting a lot of backlash, just like Snoop. One user posted this tweet that went viral and said, Nelly's a loser and Ashanti's a loser for doubling back to his loser ass. Oh. Wow, the baby is also a loser. Wait, leave the baby out of this. Why you say fuck the baby for? Guys, we can't have the babies catching strays. Come on now. But anyway, wow, the baby is also a loser, I fear. People have also been bringing up some of his older records where he's referencing his support for Trump, like his song Country Grammar, which was released back in the 2000s, where he raps, Bill Gates, Donald Trump, let me in now. Now, Nelly responded to the backlash.
He said I've been rapping about this nigga, so am I surprised? No. That was a bop, though.
If you follow what I do, this shouldn't even be an argument. He's the president. He won. This isn't a campaign. This isn't an RNC. I'm not out on the political campaign. I didn't get none of that 1.5. I know I've been through a lot. If my past was what was going to prevent me from winning today.
First off, I'm annoyed with all this, though, because I just feel like everybody shut up. Just rappers in politics, like, shut up. Do y'all even know what's going on? What y'all rap about, don't tell me that y'all are the most knowledgeable about politics at all and to have any common sense based on what y'all be saying. So that's why I'm just like, everybody just be quiet. If this is who you support, then support them, in the comfort of your own home. But being so loud about it, especially when you know that you have this large black following and they have issues with what's taking place and they're not benefiting from, certain policies and whatnot, and they're not behind it, why would you be so loud and proud and be like, yeah, I'm standing with Trump? It's just goofy, it's tone deaf, and it's just stupid.
I wouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that he ain't got some fucked up ways. That's not what I'm saying at all.
So why are you so strongly standing behind him?
But what I'm saying is that he's the president of the United States. He's not the candidate for the United States. He's the president. He won.
So Nelly was saying, I ain't get paid for this. In the words of Jesse Pinkman, what a load of crap. Obviously, he did get paid just like all celebrities who endorse anything politically. An endorsement means you get paid dinero. It is what it is, okay? Now, some more things about the Nelly situation. Nelly actually got so much backlash to the point where people...
This man was so fine. I mean, he's still attractive now, but damn, he was fine.
Started to bring up some of his weird cases, like Kendrick likes to say, right, from his past. This one tweet from this one person who quote tweeted the news that he was endorsing Trump said, reminder, Nelly is a rapist and is paying out civil lawsuits.
3 continents.
On 3 continents. Now, this is actually not entirely correct, so let's kind of go through this really quickly. Nelly's had a few different allegations from a couple of different women in his past, so let's just look at that really quickly, right? In October 2017, Nelly was arrested by Auburn police after a 22-year-old woman who attended the University of Washington in Seattle made claims that he had raped her in his tour bus. Nelly was booked and then eventually released, and his legal team stated that these claims were motivated by the supposed victim wanting money. Around 2 months later, on December 14, law enforcement ended up dropping the case because the alleged victim refused to cooperate with the police. And then in early 2018, 2 women claimed that he essayed them while he was in the UK. Essentially, one of the women said that he was masturbating in front of her and that he forced her to perform oral sex, right? And then the second woman said that he assaulted her following an after party, which was, after a concert that I think he had, right, at the venue Coco in London. Now, shortly after this, Nelly ended up reaching a settlement with one of the women in 2019. So, not entirely true that he is a convicted rapist. He did, however, have allegations against him.
That's a lot.
Nelly denied these allegations, and so did his legal team. And eventually, they came to a settlement. So I just wanted to clear that up. Now, aside from Nelly, we also have Soulja Boy, and then also Rick Ross.
Goofy after goofy. You know what? That's just surprising because Rick Ross always try to make it seem like he's so rich, he got all this money. So why would you need to do this?
Now, Soulja Boy
Do
and
they even
Rick
like
Ross
these
both
songs in the
performed at the
audience?
inauguration as well, and they both did get
They
a
didn't
lot
know
of
that.
backlash for this. But when it comes to Soulja Boy, one of the reasons being because Soulja Boy recently criticized Drake for going out sad,
Wait,
which I
what?
think he might be referring to the lawsuit that we covered. And then
What-
people
what
were
did I
like,
do
damn, you
anything?"
said that Drake went out sad, but you're out here supporting Trump. Now, Soulja Boy, you guys know how he responds to stuff, right? He ended up responding to the backlash in a very, let's just say, passionate way. Essentially, Soulja Boy was saying, Kamala ain't call me, bruh. Obama ain't never put money in my pocket, while he was flexing the bands,
Why
RP the
you saying
speaker
like that?
knockers.
They pay me a bet. Obama ain't never put no money in my pockets, nigga. Kamala ain't never put no money in my pockets, nigga. Trump put money in my pockets, nigga.
And I'm assuming this was the money that he made from this
That don't
endorsement,
even
right?
look like
now,
that
Trump has
much,
been
to be
idolized in the
honest.
hip-hop community since the 90s. This is not a secret,
For you to
and I'm
sell
sure
out
you know
of.
this. Jay-Z famously said on this track, What More Can I Say, from the Black Album, Young Hova the God, nigga, blasphemy. I'm at the Trump International, ask for me. Raekwon, on his 1995 release, Only Built for Cuban Links, said the following, raise a heavy generator, but yo, guess who's the Black Trump? And on that same song, he also had another line where he said, you rolling like Trump, you get your meat lumped. We also have the late Mac Miller, rest in peace to Mac Miller, I miss that guy a lot, who literally had a song titled Donald Trump. Now, Trump initially praised this song when he initially
Little
heard
Mac
it,
Miller.
but it turns out that Mac actually hated him and they ended up getting into like a little beef. And then Trump was like, you ungrateful dog to Mac, right? I'm gonna sue the hell out of you for using my name and my likeness. And Mac was,
You
let's just say he was
ungrateful dog
standing
is
on
crazy.
business, okay?
I only have one thing to say. I hate you, Donald Trump.
Now, other people like Lil Wayne have been very open about their support for Trump. Trump even granted Lil Wayne a pardon for a federal weapons charge back in 2021. You guys might remember that story. I covered that, and that entire thing solidified their connection. And then also we have Kodak Black, who got pardoned by Donald Trump and got out of prison. And then let's not forget when A$AP Rocky was slipping on semen in Sweden. Pause.
I had to fight some nigga in the bathroom, no homo. We slipping on semen. Niggas was jerking off in the bathroom,
That's
nigga.
wild.
Me,
And Trump got him the hell out of there. And by the way, A$AP Rocky didn't say, hey, I support Trump, but hey, there's a connection there. He got him out of prison, right? Some other rappers who've shown support for Donald Trump, Ice Cube, who a few years ago got a wave of backlash after he revealed that he was working with the Trump administration.
But why do you think he'd want to do something for the community when he says there's no such thing as systemic inequality?
I don't know what he want to do. I just know what the man said. I know what he said to the country. I've never met Donald Trump, so I don't know what he's gonna do. I just know what he said he was gonna do. So.
And then we have DaBaby, who during an interview with Full Send got asked, hey, do you mess with Trump? He said, hell yeah, I mess with Trump. He a
He
gangster.
want to get canceled.
With
again.
Trump.
now, hell yeah.
Oh man.
What made you with him?
Trump is a gangster.
And then another rapper we have is Waka Flocka, who's been very vocal about his support for Trump.
Like, what is it that draws you to him over Kamala?
Well, in that essence, then I have a reason, right? It's no over, it's no under, it's no side by side. This is what it is.
Known for his display of wealth, business acumen, and larger-than-life persona, Donald Trump has long been viewed as a status symbol by rappers. Rappers have literally idolized Trump for decades and have often cited him as a symbol of success and ambition in their lyrics. Even today, like we've covered, a lot of rappers in the community still admire the image he represents, and they kind of view him as a real-life image of wealth, power,
You would
and
think they would
self-made
find some black men, some black rich men to look up to, but no, they found a white rich man.
success. Actually, maybe self-made might not be the most accurate term because he did, after all, start with a small loan of $1 million.
You know, I talk about it. It's not been easy for me. It has not been easy for me. And, you know, I started off in Brooklyn. My father gave me a small loan of $1 million. I came into Manhattan.
It's his larger-than-life persona and ability to amplify his own narrative that resonates with the hustle mentality celebrated in hip-hop. There's no denying the risk involved in publicly supporting Trump. And one really good
example. Wouldn't you want to look up to somebody who got it out the mud? I was like, this is an inspiration, and they look like me, so if they can do it, I can do it. And wouldn't that be an inspiration? Wouldn't that be somebody to look up to? Not a white man who literally got money handed down, and that's why he rich. So they kept the wealth in the white family. I don't think that makes sense, but all right.
Was the story of Chrisette Michele, which you might have heard of. She's no rapper, but she's a 42-year-old R&B singer from New York who made a career-defining move in 2017 that ultimately cost her dearly. Following Trump's victory in the 2016 election, Chrisette accepted an offer to perform at his inauguration. Before this, Chrisette was a respected figure in the R&B genre. She wasn't really that famous, but she still had built strong relationships in the music industry and was thriving in her career. However, her decision to perform at the inauguration marked a turning point and one that would have a devastating impact on her reputation and her career trajectory. Even before following through with the decision, Chrisette Michele was strongly advised against performing at the Trump inauguration. Her fans were vocal about not wanting her to do it, her collaborators in the music industry cautioned her against it, and even members of her own team discouraged her. Most notably, her husband, who played a significant role in her life, was also firmly opposed to the idea. Interestingly, singer and actress Jennifer Holliday faced a similar situation. Like Chrisette, she was offered the opportunity to perform at the Trump inauguration. However, after facing a wave of backlash, Jennifer ultimately decided to withdraw. Despite all the warnings, Michelle made up her mind. She saw performing at the inauguration as an opportunity to serve as a bridge in what she described as a fractured nation.
This how you know they just grabbing at straws and trying to get whoever, because I promise when she did this, her career was not popping at all. So they just like, what black person is willing to do this? Pick one of them. I don't even care, because it's not like he a fan of her or she was popping whatsoever and she would have any pull.
And so she followed through with her decision. It was initially reported that Chrisette Michele got paid around $750,000 for her performance at Trump's.
But I asked the question and then he told me. She got more than I thought, if that's true. I was thinking like $10,000. That's a lot of money.
Inauguration, but as it turns out, the real number was closer to $250,000. Still, even with that kind of bag, this move completely destroyed her career. Chrisette ended up getting blackballed from the music industry. She also lost most of the relationships and connections that she had spent years building. On top of this, during this time, she was also diagnosed with bipolar disorder and fell into a deep depression and endured a miscarriage, which was attributed to the immense stress from the death threats and relentless backlash she faced. The backlash that followed was simply way more than she could handle. Chrisette Michele tried to do some damage control with a press run, but every platform she went on grilled her to the point where it made things even worse.
So, but when you say wanting to heal, I mean, what jumps out is who you're trying to heal.
Right.
Because I know a lot of folks who, because first of all, I don't think this was even televised. And if it wasn't widespread. And so, who are you trying to heal? African Americans, America, or Trump?
First of all, it was televised on a lot of
her empty
news
pockets.
stations and
That's
places
what she
where
was
we
trying to
watch
hear.
the type of political things that are happening right now. And so, you know, seeing a strong black woman or a woman who's been a part of this community for such a long time, been a voice in this community for such a long time, I thought that I would be talking to us. I really did. That was what I was thinking. I've been singing gospel music for a long time, and I've been lifting people up for a long time when they're down. And so this is something that I do.
Is she the one that sang that song, I think I'm just about over being your girlfriend, I'm leaving? Because that was about
many stages. And this was just
is that
one
her?
stage.
Because I can't think of what she's saying.
It was a scary stage, and the message didn't come across the way I intended it to.
At the end of the day, Chrisette Michelle's reputation went down the drain, all because of this one decision. Long story short, Chrisette Michelle was just never the same after this. She couldn't manage to bounce back from the damage it did to her brand, and it essentially ended.
Yeah, that was her.
She was exiled from the black community, left struggling to rebuild, and honestly, she just disappeared from the.
But I feel like that's the only song she had, to be honest. That's the only song I could think of.
So do you regret it? You wish you did not do it?
I don't regret it. I learned a lot. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself.
Yeah.
I learned a lot about my fears. I learned about my insecurities. I didn't know I was that insecure until I was rejected, and I was like,
goodness.
Do I even like her?
It's crazy how this one decision completely wrecked her entire career. And this is something I've been thinking about in relation to this.
Blackie, it was
rappers
wrecked.
who publicly have supported Trump don't seem to face the same kind of repercussions. Is it because she's a black woman? Well, maybe. It's hard to ignore how society...
No, to be honest, or maybe that's partly because of it, but I feel like a big part is because she was nobody. So they're like, oh, whatever, that's kind of expected of her. And she didn't have that much pull or influence in the community anyway. But these other people, like Kanye, like fucking Lil Wayne, Snoop Dogg, they are huge figures in the rap space, in the black rap space. So I guess people are also like really disappointed by that. They're like, damn, people looked up to y'all for so many years. And this is what y'all do. Y'all had so much influence. Her, like, come on, let's be honest.
Be harsher towards black women, especially when they make a decision that people deem as the wrong one. There's undeniably a double standard in how people perceive men versus women in the music industry. And this feeds into the broader issue of how women, especially black women, are often held to impossible standards. A male rapper can make a controversial move and still get the chance to explain himself, rebrand, or even profit from the attention. For male artists, controversy can sometimes be brushed off or even spun into a comeback story. For black women like Chrisette, it's like there's no room for mistakes. One wrong step and it's all over. It really makes you wonder about the expectations placed on women, especially black women, in the public eye. Why is the standard for forgiveness so different? Why is the backlash so much more intense? Honestly, I think these are questions worth asking. Moving on. It's pretty obvious when you hear most rappers talk about Trump. The conversation almost centers around one thing, which is money. For example, Soulja Boy, like we heard, said, Trump put money in my pocket, and he's essentially saying, hey, I did this because of money. That's the same reason the oligarchs, which is a term that describes extremely wealthy and powerful individuals who use their influence to shape politics and business, support Donald Trump. And this includes guys like Elon Musk, who absolutely ruined Twitter, that's another conversation, and others in the billionaire class. Trump represents policies and attitudes that prioritize financial gain, business growth, and bottom line, which of course resonates with, those who value economic power above all else. And what do we know about rappers? They put money above everything. MOB, money over business, cream, cash rules everything around me. Rapping about money is a topic that's deeply ingrained in the rap culture, and it reflects the mentality that success, power, and respect are tied to financial achievement. If you want to find out what a person values the most, take a look at what they talk about on a consistent basis. Now, luckily for us, rappers put their entire lives in their music. The most consistent theme in their music, aside from women and drugs, money, dinero. And that's the connection between why I think we're seeing so many rappers supporting Trump. Now, some people might be like, well, there could be other reasons for why they support him, and yeah, I'm sure there are, but you guys know I don't get paid to talk about politics, so we are not diving into that conversation right now. And plus, you guys know the topic of politics just divides us so much, and that's not the intention of me talking about this. Overall, money is a universal language, and it definitely talks, especially in hip-hop. And even deeper, I think it's what the money signals, which is wealth, dominance, respect, and power, which are all things that rap culture celebrate. The fact that Trump has been viewed as a symbol for all that tells me everything I need to know about why so many rappers are supporting.
He's the only rich man out there.
I'm confused. Anyway, if you made it till the end.
Even if you want to support another white man, another rich white man, why him? It just doesn't make any sense. Even, before he got such a bad reputation and, was deemed to be racist or whatever the case, it just doesn't make any sense that rappers were even looking up to him and rapping about him back in the day. It's like, I'm sure there were other white men, rich white men. Like, why y'all pick him specifically? I don't get it. Ultimately, people are free to believe whatever they like politically and, align with whatever political party benefits them or suits them, sure. But it's just how loud and proud and coon like these rappers are going about it that I feel like is the most disturbing. And they don't even have legitimate reasons for why they're so publicly supporting Trump. Look what Nelly said. It's because he won. He won. Like, what type of goofy ass reason is that to be so loudly and proudly supportive of somebody like Trump, who, you know, has this reputation of being racist, and you know that the majority of your black audience, they have an issue with him. Like, I don't understand why you would lean into that, you know? And then you even shouting MAGA at your show. It's just weird. These niggas is weird. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what other videos you've been watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.